I'm here at the park and I am just so super pumped because at 34 years old, I just did my first ever front handspring. So this is what's going on. What's going on is that I'm 34 years old woman and I have this voice in my head that's been talking to me since I was literally 6 years old, telling me that I was too young, I was too young, I was too young, I was too young to whatever, achieve what I wanted, do what I wanted, be taken seriously, get respect from other people, have value. And then all of a sudden, all I heard myself saying was, you're too old, you're too old, you're too old, you're too old. And I realized, like, wait a minute, when was this perfect moment when I was neither too old or too young to supposedly be this perfect age where, I don't know, I'm allowed to pursue and am capable of all the things that I don't even need permission to do and am absolutely capable of. Of course I'm capable of. Why am I like, I don't know what's been going on with me for my entire life. This is how I know it started really young, because we had a piano in our house, and when I was like 7 or 8 years old, I'd always touch the piano. I always played with the piano in a kid way because it was in my house as I was being alive. And my mom asked me if I wanted to take piano lessons, and I really did. But I said no because I'm too old, because I knew somebody in my school who had been taking piano lessons since they were 4. So by 7 or 8, I had this feeling of like, well, I'm washed up. It's too late for me. And then all of my life choices were made with this idea. I had this belief that I had, absorbed from somewhere else, or I really don't even know, like, really. And I don't know that it's important to do this like retroactive psychoanalytic work of like, but where did this come from? It doesn't really matter. What matters is that I don't allow it to govern my life anymore. It governed my choices in that where I went to school, where I went to university. And when I graduated, I didn't really even pursue any semblance of a career or a job, because I felt like, well, nobody's going to take me seriously anyway. And I do have something of value to contribute. And if the world doesn't want it, then I'm just going to go dick around and do whatever. I opt out of the world because that was the right thing to do when I was young. But then I got old, and then I started thinking, well, I'm 34. I guess I'm not sexy anymore. And I'm not interesting anymore. I don't understand, because when I was 24, I thought, well, you don't become interesting until you're older. And then I became older, and I'm like, no, it's not true. None of this is true. There is no too old or too young. I almost feel like I can't wait to have children so I can teach them from a very young age. Don't let your age stop you from doing anything. So here I am at the park at 34, and I'm doing some yoga, some stretching. It's this beautiful sunny day. It's like 58 degrees here November afternoon. A little bit warm for November. It is concerning, globally, but just going to enjoy it because there's really nothing I can do in this moment. Oh, it is. It's election day. So what I can do is vote for politicians who have an interest in reducing greenhouse gases and carbon emissions. Anyway, that's a little aside. Other than that, what can I really do? I can just say, well, it's a nice sunny day. So I came to the park and I'm doing some stretching. I'm doing my downward dog, and I do my moves. I like to let my body just kind of tell me what it needs. It usually needs stuff for the shoulders, some of this, stuff like that. And then I did some jumping jacks. And jumping jacks are really underrated. They're a very good, easy exercise that we all know how to do. It really opens up all that, upper back, mid back, all those muscles that I feel like I always say like it's my shoulders that hurt, but it's actually those muscles, and how they're all like grabbing onto the scapula, the wing bone that we have back there. That's where I have a lot of problems, tension stuff. So jumping jacks are great. So I'm doing my jumping jacks, and I'm feeling really good because I've been going to the gym. I've been getting stronger. I've been working on my core. And I felt like do some cartwheels because I like cartwheels. And then a little part of me held back. I'm like, no, And it's kind of connected to this, like, well, I'm getting older now. My body can't do cartwheels anymore. And I resisted that influence completely. I'm like, fuck that. I know how to do a fucking cartwheel, and now I have to do one. So I did one, and then I did another one, and I realized for the first time in my life, I'm 34 years old, I realized that I've done cartwheels with some degree of frequency kind of since I was a kid. I realized just exactly how I need to push through my hand into the ground and create this whole like chain of strength. And that's really, it's so obvious. When I felt it, it was like, duh, I should have been doing cartwheels like this the whole time. I don't have like cartwheel training. I didn't do gymnastics. I'm just a girl who likes to cartwheel. So I'm realizing how I can use my hands and use my whole arm to not just sort of like blindly hope or like flip over or collapse in. It actually feels just completely different. So I'm doing these cartwheels. I'm feeling all like my arms come engaged and my upper back and strong and good form. And I'm like, I should try a round off. And again, these are just things that like I learned during recess from other girls who did take gymnastics classes. That might not even be the right name for it. But it's where you, instead of going like one hand and then you flip over to the other hand and then the other foot and then the other foot, it's like both hands on the ground and then you flip over, but you kind of do a twist. And that's like a safer one. But I was feeling so good, and I'm like, let me try to like go over my hands, just like boop. And all of a sudden it was just happening. It was just happening. I couldn't believe it. And I ended up with in the right posture, and I'm like, I can't believe this just happened to me. It wasn't even like I set it as my goal. Imagine if I was like, my goal is to do a front handspring, and I'm going to do whatever is necessary to achieve it. Exercise, training, conditioning, take some classes. I don't care. I would have achieved it for sure, but I wasn't even trying. All I was doing was allowing myself to connect to my body, trust in my intuitive sense of self and what I know that I can do. It's like, I knew it. Just go for it. You can do it. And I went for it and I did it. And I'm in my 30s. So I feel really good about it. I feel like I'm totally devoted to overcoming these limiting beliefs that are not just within my conscious, but within the collective unconscious. Of like, well, once you're a certain age, you shouldn't have dreams anymore. You shouldn't try. You shouldn't grow. It's like, what is that? That's dumb. You should be trying and growing and learning and feeling proud of yourself and surprising yourself as long as you possibly can. And I think, to wrap this up, it all really hangs on the precipice there of that moment when I had the thought, like, I want to do a cartwheel. And then I thought, no, I shouldn't. I should stay small and weak and with some back tension because I don't know. I don't want to embarrass myself by looking silly in the park. I could give a shit about looking silly in the park. What I want to do is stay strong and capable for a long, long time. And I think that it's essential to maintain rather than lose and then try to find again that self-confidence. So when you're on that moment where you think, I should do this cool, fun thing, and then another part of you says, no, don't, you're too old, or you're not the right type of person to do that thing you know will make you happy. You say to that voice, fuck you, now, just to prove what a piece of shit you are, I'm going to do that thing, and it's going to be great, and I'm going to love it. Even if I fail at it, I'm going to smile, I'm going to laugh, I'm going to feel proud of myself. I hope that's you talking to yourself later, inspired by me. That's why I'm putting myself out there like this. And now, check out this handspring.